of all, this agreement is a legal framework which determines the conditions and principles for developing cooperation between French and Moldovan defense ministers. It covers for the moment 13 activities, area of cooperation like training, military medicine, logistics support, which can take various forms like exchanges of experts or courses or joint training, etc. Under specific conditions, health, legal framework and also financial framework. So this agreement is concluded for an undetermined period and may be amended at any time. Responding to your question, how do you see the French-Moldovan cooperation in the future? I can assure you that it will be developing and reinforcing in different fields and domains. As announced by the French President, Mr. Macron, and also by the Minister of Defense, Mr. Sébastien Lecornu, France is helping the Republic of Moldova to modernize and transform its national army, to increase interoperability with other European and Western countries, to reach modern standards and to be able to participate to peacekeeping missions abroad. France has chosen an interministerial organization to combat information manipulation and disinformation campaigns. This organization relies in particular in the operational committee to combat information manipulation, which is attached to the Prime Minister's service. An interministerial information force was recently created to allow better coordination between the Ministry of Defense and Ministry of Foreign Affairs. A subdirectorate dedicated to strategic monitoring has been created. The armies have an information warfare chain, which is currently being consolidated. This chain is aiming at enabling armies to have the necessary capabilities to firstly detect and understand what is happening in the information field. Secondly, develop responses and strategies over the long term. Thirdly, produce content to occupy the information space. Fourthly, structure distribution networks to help amplify the effects produced by entities that consider themselves concerned by the fight against disinformation. Within armies, the challenge is to combine long-term action and short-term actions over a long-term period. The French army is very regularly confronted with disinformation maneuvers or information manipulation campaigns. This maneuver generally aims to taint its credibility, the legitimacy of its action, or to fuel narratives which aim to undermine French political choices, as we have seen recently with regard to Ukraine. These questions are taken very seriously because the experience we have had in Africa have shown us that what happens in the information field, which is essentially intangible, can have very concrete and very operational consequences on the ground. We can, for example, think of the demonstrations which were organized in Mali, Niger or Burkina Faso, which then lost their freedom of action. It is for this reason that that the field influenced by informational combat has taken on a strategic importance within the armies to both fight against the attacks to which they are subject, but also to be able to carry out offensive actions in the international field against our competitors or against our adversaries in order to grant them freedom of action in the field of confrontation. message that we would like to send to our Moldovan counterparts concern both strategic subjects, as taking into account the evolution of conflict and the defense of Europe in the next decade, as well as tactical subjects such as the fight against manipulation of information and the need to take this new area of conflict into account. French and Moldovan armies have initiated a defense partnership which must now translate into concrete actions and which must enable Moldovan armies to face current and future challenges to participate in the security of the country. French armies will benefit from the partnership with the Moldovan armies because this partnership will allow us to better understand and know this part of Europe, which now occupies a strategic place for the security of the entire continent. I am thinking in particular of the proximity of the war in Ukraine, which concerns us all.